Well, ladies and gentlemen, after what happened in the United States of America over the weekend, questions are now being raised. Is there a global plot underfoot against nation-first policy, or rather the right-wing leaders in the world? Do right-wing leaders across the world like Shinzo Abe, Robert Fico, Fumio Kishida, and now Donald Trump have a bullseye on their back? And in the name of saving democracy, is there a vicious plot by global players to selectively target such leaders? And more importantly, is a wild propaganda being pushed by those in India as well? Because those are exactly the kind of statements that we heard this election back home in India. Are these statements, are these campaigns endangering the life of Prime Minister Modi? Let's tell you how, after the failed assassination bid on Donald Trump in America, there are political shots being fired back home in India. Drawing a parallel to Prime Minister Modi, the BJP has been quick to say that Rahul Gandhi too has been spewing hate-fueled rhetoric against the Prime Minister, which incites and encourages violence. Just like in the US, this too is in the name of purportedly saving democracy. Incidentally, in the United States, President Joe Biden had said it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. This is now being called out as an instigation by his political rivals. Even back home, remember, for Modi Virod, the Congress and the opposition had gone to the extent of chanting Modi teri kabr khudegi and Modi dash ki maut marega. While some Congress leaders said Modi will die Hitler ki maut, Rahul Gandhi himself said that the youth of the nation will hit the Prime Minister with lathis and dandas. Let's remind you of some of the statements by the Congress, which the BJP says may have put a bullseye on Prime Minister Modi himself. Listen in.
नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा, भी अब क्या बोलेंगे कि जैसे की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
मोदी हिटलर की राह चलेगा तो हिटलर की मौत मरेगा, ये याद रख लो मोदी।
ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी अभी भाषण दे रहा है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, 6 महीने बाद, 7-8 महीने बाद ये घर से नहीं निकल पाएगा। हिंदुस्तान के युवा इसको ऐसा डंडा मारेंगे, इसको समझा देंगे कि हिंदुस्तान के युवा को रोजगार देने के बिना ये देश आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता है।
After the assassination bid on Donald Trump, the BJP has alleged that provocative and hate-filled false narrative against the Prime Minister may put him at risk. But the Congress calls it a BJP a darpok party and reminds the sacrifices made by the Gandhis for India. Watch this.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी के खिलाफ जिस तरह से भड़काऊ बयानबाजी हुई, वो भी बहुत बैड टेस्ट में रही।
राहुल गांधी की दादी ने इस देश के लिए आतंकवाद से लड़ते हुए उस समय अपने प्राणों की आहुति देश को बचाने के लिए। राहुल गांधी के पिता ने इस देश की एकता और अखंडता की रक्षा के लिए अपने प्राणों को न्यौछावर। भाजपा एक डरपोक पार्टी है।
जहां कहीं भी सुव्यवस्था देख रहे हैं, सुशासन देख रहे हैं, वहां ऐसी परिस्थितियां पैदा करना चाहते हैं कि तंत्र टूट जाए। अर्बन नक्सलवाद से आप पार्टी और राहुल गांधी के रूप में अराजक राजनीति के प्रतिनिधित्व बने।
जिस गांधी परिवार ने अपने दो सपूत श्री राजीव गांधी जी, श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी जी आतंकवाद में भेंट चढ़ाई हो, उस पार्टी को आप ज्ञान देना बंद कीजिए।
So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we're asking on the Newshour tonight is wild rhetoric endangering Modi? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP. Joining me in the studios, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator. Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, supports the left parties. Vivek Silas, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, in our studios. But my first question goes to Sanjay Jha, suspended Congress leader. And Sanjay Jha, with all the responsibility at my command, there are many commons between the United States campaign and the campaign that we've just seen, that's just concluded in India. There also it is about saving democracy and how President or former President Donald Trump is actually a dictator, and same blueprint right here. Samvidhan Bachao, save democracy, save the constitution, and Modi is a Hitler, dictator, autocrat, Tanashah. That's exactly the campaign that we've seen. I'm asking you with great responsibility, while I'm saying nobody does this genuinely, knowingly, but in the kind of rhetoric that we put out, are we actually putting a bullseye on the back of senior leaders? Especially at this point, the right wing seems vulnerable.
Navika, good evening. I don't think the right wing is vulnerable at all. I condemn the attack on Donald Trump as anybody would. I don't think that's a point of conversation. But can we deny that Donald Trump and some other very esteemed leaders back home are amongst the most polarizing politicians the world has seen? Can it be denied today that Donald Trump, by the way, Navika, encouraged an insurrection against his own government while he was president of the United States? I mean, there are charges against him which are being investigated. Anybody who's following the case knows he probably, if he didn't have a conservative Supreme Court, would be convicted. He probably still might be. I mean, the truth of the matter is this, that you have today a reality that it was Nathuram Godse, a right-winger, right, who murdered Mahatma Gandhi. He was an assassin, killed his own men. And by the way, let's know our facts here. Thomas Matthew Crooks is not a liberal Democrat. He's a registered Republican. He's a registered Republican who shot at Donald Trump. That's a fact of life. And anybody who's aware of American politics, Navika, is aware that Donald Trump has encouraged Islamophobia. He's talked about, being very anti-immigrant. He has talked about deporting people in the guise of, taking anti-immigration, anti-illegal immigrants action. And more important still, he's played to a very crude gallery of why he's a celebrity amongst the white supremacists. And I would request anybody watching your program, Navika, because it's watched by many, to kindly just Google Proud Boys to know the kind of fascism, the kind of militaristic forces that are being created, very similar to the SS and the SA in the Nazi time, which Donald Trump has encouraged in America. Of course, what the attack on him is wrong. But the polarizing has been done by Donald Trump, cannot be denied. And here is the truth as far as India is concerned. You mentioned the elections, Navika. Let me point out to you 3 examples of why the BJP today should not even have the audacity to debate this. Lynching since the time Mr. Modi has become a prime minister is for all to see. Reminiscent of the Ku Klux Klan during the time of Mississippi burning. Call for genocides in India.
Are you then justifying Modi को युवा डंडा मारेगा, चप्पल फेंका तो लोग मोदी से डरते हैं, हिटलर की मौत मरेगा, जमीन में गाड़ दो और मोदी तेरी खबर खोदेगी? Are you justifying all this?
Have I justified it? I'm making the point here for you.
Because that's the question that I asked. No. That's the question that I asked, and that's the question you've avoided answering.
I have not avoided answering. If you give me 30 seconds, I'll wrap it up. I want to ask the BJP spokesperson on your program today. Did the Prime Minister apologize for the lynchings that have happened in this country? Did the Prime Minister apologize when Ramesh Bidhuri came in Parliament and made a vicious, vitriolic and absolutely vulgar attack on 200 million citizens of a country that is the Prime Minister's job to protect? did Mr. Modi apologize?
Okay.
When you have had a call for genocide in Dharam Sansads, did Mr. Modi stop them?
All
the
right.
answer is no.
All right.
So,
Shehzad Poonawalla, while Modi तेरी कब्र खुदेगी, मोदी की बोटी बोटी कर दो, हिटलर की something जिएगा वो हिटलर की मौत मरेगा. Rahul Gandhi has also not apologized, but Sanjay Jha wants to ask you, why has Modi not apologized?
I have patiently heard out the entire diatribe Sanjay has made, and I hope he will extend the same courtesy. Sanjay, by the way, has proven exactly the point that I was trying to make in the coming few minutes. The fact is that the non-right seems to relish in dehumanizing and delegitimizing the every bit of existence of those who are on the other side. And Sanjay Jha did it by using terms like, and I quote, fascism, they are KKK, they are like the SS, they are Nazis, by putting a trigger and putting a radar on the back of everybody else who's not on the far left and characterizing them. And this is exactly the kind of polarizing rhetoric that has led to the consequences in America. It has led to consequences for Farage. It has led to consequences for Modi. It has led to consequences for Shinzo Abe. The problem with the left side, or this Islamo-left woke radical nexus, is that it keeps dehumanizing everybody else on this other side by using such language. And let me give you 2 or 3 more examples. First of all, look at the parallels. The countries changed, the scripts are the same. Samvidhan khatam ho jayega, elections will not be held. Khadge said this. Rahul Gandhi said Samvidhan khatam ho jayega. None of this has actually happened in India, but suddenly the consequences of this are justified. Where Rahul Gandhi says this about the Prime Minister.
भाषण दे रहा है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, 6 महीने बाद, 7-8 महीने बाद ये घर से नहीं निकल पाएगा.
मोदी को लाठी पड़ना जायज हो जाता है. When somebody throws a slipper at the convoy of the Prime Minister, Rahul Gandhi goes and justifies it. There were actually blasts in Modi's rally in Patna in 2013. Digvijay Singh justified that. Ultimately, IM Mujahideen terrorists were convicted for that. In 2022, when the Punjab security lapse took place, Congress asked, how's the Josh? So Congress party has actually gone and justified those who have been potentially harmful to Prime Minister's security. And this is a party which says that has Modi apologized for the lynchings. Sanjay Jha, 1984 was justified by Rajiv Gandhi saying, "Bada ped girta hai to dharti hilti hai." Does that justify the elimination of all his progeny? There have been riots after riots, which, one second, don't interrupt me. Let me complete. Okay. Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, Meerut, Malyana, Mumbai, Delhi, all these riots took place under the Congress's watch. And Muzaffarnagar under Samajwadi Party and Congress's watch. Does that mean that it justifies the removal and the elimination of everybody from Samajwadi Party? And let me take it a step further. The Islamo cabal of this actually ensures that it is not just BJP supporters or the RSS supporters, but it is in fact the entire Hindu community. Look at the recent rhetoric that Rahul uses. Hindu hinsak hai. Suddenly the entire target is put on the Hindu community, where they become the soft targets.
Radicals exist on both sides of the divide, and let's not bring in the religion because frankly, Islamophobia is something that the BJP is accused of. I don't want to bring that in simply because radicals exist on every side of the fence, and radicals have to be differentiated.
Just one line, Navika, just one line. Which other community can you get away by saying that all the followers of the community should be exterminated? Sanatan Samapt was said. Sanatan is Bihari. Hindu is Hinsa. So the dehumanization starts from the BJP and it ends on the Hindu. The Hindu is being dehumanized by this cabal, and it's not just Modi, the entire Hindu community which is on target.
That's a debate that you do every day in Parliament. Let's come back to this debate of the left versus the right. And Sanjay Jha. Frankly, you talk about polarization. Do you want me to tell you that polarization happens on every side of the fence? To accuse one side, are you being a little unjust?
Navika, that's a pertinent question. The truth remains, however, that Mr. Modi, if you hear his speeches, let's go to the 2024 general elections. Unprecedented for a prime minister of this country to make hate speeches against the Muslims of India, which got him from an extremely pliant election commission a notice.
Okay.
I mean, we all heard.
All right. So please tell me in which category will you put this? डरा हुआ तानाशाह एक मरा हुआ लोकतंत्र बनाना चाहता है, मीडिया समेत सभी संस्थाओं पर कब्जा, पार्टियों को तोड़ना, कंपनियों से हफ्ता वसूली, मुख्य विपक्षी दल का अकाउंट फ्रीज। ये कौन कह रहा है? ये कह रहे हैं श्री राहुल गांधी। Then on the 2nd of February, you know what he says? Why do so many dictators have names that begin with M? Marcos, Mussolini, Mubarak, Mobutu, Musharraf, Mikobero. Who said this? Rahul Gandhi again. Now this is not divisive. This is not polarizing. It's only the BJP that does the dog calling.
Just one line. I'm sorry, Anand and others have to speak. No, 1 second, Sanjay, because you got opportunity to speak the second time. Navika, I think I should get an opportunity for a quick intervention. No, let me make a quick intervention, then you can come in. Navika, when Sanjay called out polarizing speeches, Supreme Court said no less that Stalin's speech that Sanatan Samapt is extremely dangerous and is a hate speech. That is all right for them. And secondly, please tell me one thing, Sanjay. Forget everything else. This is Khadge's statement. No more elections if Modi returns to power. Gives example of Russia. Is that true? Congress party on its website has said that Modi wants to destroy the constitution. Is that true? Democracy will end if Modi comes to power. This is on the Congress website. Now I ask you, this kind of hyperbolic, polarizing propaganda and rhetoric has led to a target being painted on the back of the recipients, which is the non-left. And you are not stopping just at the BJP. You are extending it to the entire Hindu community. Just give me one answer. Have elections stopped because Modi came to power?
Okay. Now take a deep breath. Let me answer you. Stop.
Sanjay, stop your patronizing behavior.
Okay.
I don't need you to
get it derailed.
Will you stop patronizing?
All right. Sanjay Jha, yeah, exactly.
You have a glass of water and stop sipping on the whiskey in the night.
Both of you have your respective glasses of water, and let's come
get
back
to the brass tacks.
Yes, respond.
Navika, here is my point. To the viewers watching Times Now, the BJP, the RSS and the Sangh Parivar, ladies and gentlemen, stands exposed. They have abused Rahul Gandhi in the Congress for being anti-Hindu and anti-Sanatan. The Shankar Acharya, not Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, they don't even stand for Hinduism, they stand for Hindutva. The Shankar Acharya has said Rahul Gandhi has not said anything wrong which questions the respect or the sanctity or the sacrosanct nature of Hinduism. Sure? Enough, Shehzad Poonawalla. Don't indulge in lies.
All right. Let me get it. No response on the statements made by Rahul Gandhi or the tweets put out by him.
That's the political rhetoric.
That is political rhetoric. Calling somebody a dictator, and calling out. नहीं, आप रमेश बिदूरी पर मांग रहे हैं अपॉलॉजी प्रधानमंत्री की, तो सुबोधकांत सहाय पर राहुल गांधी की अपॉलॉजी कहां है? हिटलर की मौत मरेगा. Where is the apology for that, Sanjay Jha? Or that is not important because Rahul Gandhi does not need to apologize. Only Modi needs to apologize when he wakes up every morning.
Now, since he quoted the Shankaracharya, this is the same Shankaracharya.
शिव जी की प्रतिमा दिखाने से हमारा हिंदू धर्म का काम नहीं होगा. हिंदू धर्म का काम होगा गौ रक्षा से. राहुल गांधी जी अगर शिव भक्त हैं तो शिव जी का जो झंडा है वो वृषध्वज कहलाते हैं. उनके झंडे में
Don't interrupt.
उस बैल की रक्षा करके दिखाएं वो. अगर वो शिव जी.
First of all, this person's entire claim is in dispute by the Supreme Court. Having said that, he's a person of respect. Please quote him fully. Don't quote him half. Please tell me which seat he's a Shankaracharya of.
Let me get in Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, is the BJP dramatizing the situation after the incident in the United States of America, or do you think they have a point?
Good evening, Navika. I've been listening very patiently, almost half an hour to the debate. It's a very important debate we're having. I hope I'll be given a courtesy of a couple of minutes of uninterrupted time because the issue is very serious. Navika, I'm afraid we've kind of possibly veering away from the debate because the debate is not about hate speech. Exactly. All of us know each other's views about hate speech. The debate is something more deeper. The debate is beyond hate speech. Everyone's made quote-unquote hate speeches or what can be categorized as hate speech. but the issue is dehumanizing. Now, if I were to be so brainwashed by a politician or a media to continuously think of someone as a demon, demonic, Hitler, worm, rat, pig, ape, that is blanket dehumanizing of that person. What would I think if I were to think of eliminating him? I won't think twice. So I think, yes, it's good that we are removing such quote-unquote vermin, apes, Hitlers from the world. This is the nub of the issue. The issue is not about hate speech about gods or religion or something. The issue is that time and again, people, politicians, dehumanize other politicians. And just like Trump has been dehumanized, the issue is, has Modi been dehumanized? And I put it to you, yes, he has. He has been called Hitler, which is the worst dehumanization, because the point of the matter is Hitler is seen as a modern day demon, demonic. So people would think to eliminate Hitler is possibly doing a good deed for the world. That is where the whole issue stems from. He has been called a worm. Now, the communists, the leftists, yes, the Nazis as well, were past experts at dehumanizing people. They've called, in fact, the Nazis called Jews as apes and vermin. Now, if I say, where did the Nazis get that playbook from? Which religion originally called the Jews as apes and vermin? Somebody on the panel will brand me Islamophobic. Now, that itself is a label. Every one of us, where our views differ, is immediately branded. A Hitler, Islamophobic, this, that, and the other. The fact of the matter is that on record, the CPIM, and whose representative out here, is the only party in the world that publicly hailed the Tiananmen massacre, where the Chinese rolled tanks over 10,000 innocent people and killed them. This is not only from the Communist Manifesto that was published, it is also from Shashi Tharoor's book, Pax Indica. This is what dehumanizing means, to blanket, remove this aura or the reality of a human from a human being. Very quickly, 30 seconds, the next chapter. Now, this is very important. Navika, we believe what we see, but increasingly what we see is written by those who see what they believe. You've seen in the headlines from the American newspapers yesterday, and remember, they connect to the headlines 5 or 7 years ago when the Indian Express said very infamously, and they killed Yaqub Memon. I think that was the headline. They. This is the kind of news and fraudulent journalism that exists, and that is the center for dehumanizing. There is a Denver Post report that doesn't even talk about assassination attempt on Trump at all. They are mourning the death of the shooter. This is the extent to which frauds have become journalists today. So I'm not surprised.
Well, don't name another newspaper. At one point, I worked for that newspaper and worked there for 10 years. They're not here to defend themselves, but I get the point you're making, and let me get Vivek Srivastava to answer this. Vivek Srivastava, is this now becoming a situation where, left liberals, they call themselves liberals, are becoming just so non-liberal that any other view which is not their view is finding it difficult to survive?
See, it has nothing to do with left liberals. It is just being cooked up by the BJP over here because they need to cook up something. Gimmicks are a part of their rhetoric. Now, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, are you aware of it that the top RSS brass went and met Mussolini and took guidance in organizational behavior from him? Are you aware of it? Are you aware of it that Mussolini was a mass murderer and a fascist? So if we try to put two and two together, are we wrong? The person who tried to assassinate Mr. Donald Trump was a part of his own party, his own follower at one time. Are you aware of it? It has nothing to do with
that's not been confirmed.
Are you aware of it?
And what are you adding two and two with?
No, let me complete.
What are you adding two and two with?
You're not letting me speak. This is unfair. This is unfair.
I've asked you a question. You mentioned something. I'm asking you to explain.
Now, Yeah, what is the question? All I'm saying is, Mr. Donald Trump, I'm against his assassination attempt. I don't support violence, but even then, he's a third-rate politician, responsible for Capitol Hill, trying to attack his own parliament building, trying to instigate mobocracy. Will somebody criticize that or not? And Mr. Modi considers him the best of the friend. And as far as victimization is concerned, yes, This right-wing government has been trying to put up a rhetoric against the Gandhis and the family by saying for 70 years this country was destroyed by them. Priyanka Gandhi has been forced to leave her house in the middle of COVID.
Has anybody called on the lives of any of these individuals? I'm asking you, isn't that the moot point? Has anybody called out and said that so and so's life should be ended? And may I tell you the tweets that Rahul Gandhi puts out? These tweets really must think many times. Yeah. Hitler once wrote, keep a firm grasp on reality so you can strangle it at any time. Then he said Hitler and Mussolini were also very powerful brands, comparing it to the Modi brand. I want to ask you.
Navika, just 20 or 30 seconds. And I request Vivek, I'm not trying to argue against you. Just give me 30 seconds to explain something which Anand was trying to explain. We are in a democracy. So, of course, without a doubt, even America is a democracy, you can call Trump a third-rate politician. No problem. Attacking politicians, including Modi, on his conduct is fair game in a democracy. What Anand and I are trying to tell you is that you all take this side so further that you delegitimize and dehumanize. That means you don't attack conduct, you attack existence, wherein the propaganda becomes that our very existence is the problem in this country. Please let me give you an example of this. For instance, do you remember that tweet, Navika, where burning half shots of RSS was shown? Which was indicative that burn the RSS. Nobody has a problem if you say RSS is bad, RSS is communal. That's all right. You can have that view. But to say that RSS should be eliminated, he is a demon, he is a worm, he is a vermin, he is like the Jews, send them to the gas chambers. That existential dehumanization is the issue.
That's the point I want to ask Vivek Silas as well. 1 minute. The gentleman in the studio hasn't spoken. I'll come back to you. Vivek Silas. विवेक साइलस, मोदी तेरी खबर खुदेगी. मोदी की पॉलिसी से आपको दिक्कत है, मोदी की अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएटेड है, वो ठीक है, पर मोदी को डंडे से देश का युवा मारेगा, इस बात पे प्रॉब्लम है. मोदी हिटलर की मौत मरेगा, मोदी डैश डैश की मौत मरेगा, और आपके अपने नेता एसटी हसन. हमें परवरदिगार पर पूरा भरोसा है, इंशाअल्लाह ताला इस बार जालिम का खात्मा होने जा रहा है. जालिम आप जानते हैं किसके लिए कहा जा रहा है, यहां मोदी के लिए. जालिम का खात्मा होने जा रहा है. दिक्कत इस बात से है, आर यू propounding violence? You have a problem with these people, you are opposed to these people, please be, that's your politics. But किसी को मार देना, किसी को गाड़ देना, किसी की बोटी कर देना, can you justify that?
No, it cannot be justified, not at all, you know.
इमरान मसूद के खिलाफ क्या किया? समाजवादी पार्टी में थे, आज माननीय सांसद हैं.
हाँ, कांग्रेस पार्टी से माननीय सांसद, तो उनको जनता ने जिताया है.
और एसटी हसन तो आपके साथ है.
एसटी हसन हमारे साथ है. बट यू नो व्हाट ही सेड कि वो जालिम की, क्या आपने क्या बोला?
जालिम का खात्मा.
पॉलिटिकल खात्मा हो सकता है, बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं हो सकता है ना.
कि जालिम का खात्मा कह सकते हैं कि जालिम हार जाएंगे.
पहले तो यही नहीं बताया कि जालिम किसको कहा गया. आप क्या आप जालिम किसको कहा गया? अगर आप इस बात को
काफिर को कहते हैं, मोदी काफिर है आपके लिए, ये थियोलॉजिकल बैटल है.
मैं आधे घंटे जालिम क्या आप जालिम मोदी जी को मानती है नविका जी? मानती हैं? तो फिर आप ऐसे क्यों?
उन्होंने मोदी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोला, सवाल मोदी पे था.
Why a zalim is compared to नरेंद्र मोदी? There has to be something.
सवाल मोदी पे था.
There is no logic.
कभी आप इतने क्यूट हो जाते हैं ना.
नहीं, नाविका जी, I say
कि प्यार मोहब्बत से.
There is no place of bullets in democracy.
But this is the word that is used by your own politicians.
I think the Bharatiya Janata Party should have taken the action on the people who said.
Sanjay Jha is saying.
Why no action was taken on the people who said मोदी तेरी खबर?
संजय झा कह रहे हैं मोदी को बिदुड़ी जी के स्टेटमेंट्स के लिए माफी मांगनी चाहिए. तो क्या अखिलेश जी को एसटी हसन के स्टेटमेंट्स के लिए माफी नहीं मांगनी चाहिए, या राहुल गांधी को सुबोधकांत सहाय उनके तमाम लीडर्स की तरफ से माफी नहीं मांगनी चाहिए?
माफी तो शहजाद जी को भी मांगनी चाहिए यहीं बैठ के. जब आप 80-20 की बात करते हैं, शमशान कब्रिस्तान की बात करते हैं, दिवाली की बात करते हैं, और आप कपड़ों से पहचान लेते हैं, मंगलसूत्र की बात करते हैं, तो माफी तो आप.
विवेक जी 20 सेकंड्स. एसटी हसन एक जस्ट 20 सेकंड्स. आनंद 20 सेकंड्स. एसटी हसन एक नेता है, वो बंदूक नहीं उठाएंगे। पर क्या श्योर हो कि सबने यही समझा है जो आप समझ रहे थे, जालिम का खात्मा? कोई अगर उनका सरफिरा जो सोचता है, एक सेकंड प्लीज, लेट मी कंप्लीट, विवेक जी, लेट मी कंप्लीट। इनका एक जो सरफिरा एक फॉलोअर है, उसने सुना जालिम का खात्मा करना है, काफिर का खात्मा करना है, काफिर का खात्मा करना, निकल गया। क्या गारंटी ले सकते? राहुल गांधी हैज जस्टिफाइड, लेट मी,
या तो आप मान रहे हैं काफिर और जालिम मोदी,
विवेक एटलीस्ट हैव द पेशेंस, लेट मी हैव द पेशेंस, लेट्स हैव द पेशेंस फॉर मी टू कंप्लीट. What I am saying is that you have to be responsible, that you do not threaten the existence of somebody in your political rhetoric.
That's because you don't know the consequences. That's the whole debate.
I agree to you.
You can be
opposed. I agree to you.
You can, then why does what action has been taken against Hassan Saab?
That is what I am asking you, Navika ji. Did he say about Modi ji? Not at all.
He should not say this about anybody.
Anand Ranganathan, S.A. Hassan said nothing about Modi. Even Modi teri kabr khudegi was not said about Modi.
That was wrong.
Hitler.
That was wrong.
तो वहाँ तो बैठ के किया तो राहुल
गांधी should have been arrested. Why
अरेस्ट करने ही तो गए थे, तब ये कहा था।
क्यों नहीं अरेस्ट किया? सरकार क्या कर रही थी?
They were worthy of being arrested. They were worthy of being arrested. Then why are you in alliance with them?
What?
आप उनके साथ अलायंस में क्यों? अगर अरेस्ट करने वाला काम किया,
आपने अरेस्ट किया,
राहुल गांधी ने डंडा।
One minute, Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan.
नाविका प्लीज, मैं स्टूडियो में नहीं हूं तो प्लीज मुझे आप 1 मिनट दीजिए, बिकॉज आई वांट टू क्लैरिफाई समथिंग दैट विवेक ही टुक माय नेम एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. विवेक, माय गुड फ्रेंड, ऑफ कोर्स ही इज अ कम्युनिस्ट, सो ही विल, oh, I'm so sorry. The Vivek with less sense than you, Vivek Silas ji. No, I said it.
Come on, now don't be rude. Don't be rude.
He was only nice to you.
Don't be rude.
On a lighter mood, Vivek is a very good friend. He is from JNU. मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, विवेक कह रहे हैं देखो RSS मुसोलिनी से मिला. It is not who you meet. Exactly. It is whether you espouse those values. For example, will Vivek condemn Mahatma Gandhi from meeting Mussolini?
They borrowed the black cap from Mussolini. They borrowed the dress from Mussolini.
Please, now this is ये देखो अब ये जो अब इनको पता चल गया है, इनका बैंड बज गया.
Values were taken from Mussolini.
Okay, all right. Complete your point. Lowering Vivek's fader. Complete your point.
थैंक यू. ये जब इनको पता चल जाता है ऐसे अर्थक्वेक का ना, इनको रिक्टर स्केल में कि अब बैंड बजने वाला है. Will he condemn Subhash Chandra Bose from meeting Hitler? Will he condemn Mahatma Gandhi for meeting Mussolini? The point is not meeting people. Left has met so many demons. Yeah, left has still eulogizes Stalin who killed 10 million people. You still eulogize Mao who killed 63 million people. Point is, do you espouse those same values? थोड़ा तो अकल से काम लो भाई.
Respond. Problem is not about meeting. Problem is not about opposition. Problem is about when you have violent and ending life kind of statements.
If life gives you a Vivek, make it a Silas.
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, you can't compare RSS with Gandhi. That is absolutely vague. And number two, all I'm saying is that the kind of hatred that has been spewed about the way the Congress destroyed this country in the last 70 years, the Gandhis are in a danger.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, all I want to say is this is dangerous territories, and it's time our politicians differentiated between politics of opposition and politics of ending other political leaders' lives. There has to be a red line that needs to be drawn. Not just in India, not just in the United States of America, but everywhere in the world. Yes, America is the oldest democracy. India is the largest democracies. And somewhere we're seeing the rhetoric that is descending down into the unacceptable. Time we saw the red flag, and time we woke up to it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1.